Alright, so oil filter housing gasket. If you've never done one of these, it's an absolute nightmare. Motor mount right here, bracket. This is the piece that you're actually pulling off. There's 3 bolts in the top of the motor mount bracket going into the housing, 4 10 millimeters up front. These were 15 millimeter or 13 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken. I had to pull the nuts off of the mounting bracket itself, and then cut a 2x4 at an angle so it would match the oil pan. I removed the nuts off of the passenger side motor mount, the radiator shroud, fan shroud, disconnected the reservoir hose off of the oil filter housing, the hose going to the bottom of the radiator coming off of the oil filter housing. You have to jack it up till your intake manifold is actually basically touching the cab. I did remove the bolts, the nuts on the transmission, and I took off my exhaust manifold. My exhaust manifold, I'd already had to take it off. The bolts had they broke, so they came out really easy. I did use a snap-on 1/4-inch ratchet, electric ratchet, for basically everything, except for this one bolt right here, which is going to be your biggest headache. That's basically why part of the reason I'm making this video. One, it took me so long to get this thing back in there, so you have to jack it up as far as you can and put it in basically reverse the way you took it out. I know that sounds like duh, but I promise, as you start doing it, you're going to think there's no way you're going to get this back in there, and you have to jack the motor up as far as you can. Power steering pump is also removed. I'm not 100% sure if you'd have to remove your exhaust intake manifold, if that's 100% part of the procedure, but I absolutely recommend it because you have a lot more room. I took the fender well off, the fender well cover, off. Drained all the oil, drained the radiator fluid. All of this to replace this gasket. I got the new one from O'Reilly's. Sorry, AutoZone on this one. I got this one from AutoZone. It's gonna take a while, and I don't have a car lift. I just my truck is lifted, so it made it a little easier being able to sit up under it. And then there's a stud right here, and I removed the whole stud before I even started. I was hoping in the beginning I was going to be able to jack it up and just slide this out, and I wasn't that lucky. It looks like you can, but you still have to get this bolt out. So to be able to get this bolt out, you have to get this top mount out. And you're going to celebrate when you finally do get the motor mount loose and get it out, but then you've got to put it back in. And I didn't remove the radiator shroud to take it out, but to put it back in, I had to. I just wasn't able to jack it up enough to get it in there, and I don't know how I even got it out, to be honest. I'm 100% not sure how I got it out, but she came out. But this is a Ford F250 5.4 liter. It's 2008, and it is not like the F150s or all the other ones where it just spits out the front. It's 4 bolts, if I'm not mistaken, and the oil filter's connected directly to like the front of it. I would consider this the back of it, and it's a lot easier to do than on this particular vehicle. There is one other video I found online, on YouTube, sorry, and that's part of the reason I got to where I am now and was comfortable jacking the motor up, because that's how they had done it. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, I can answer them the best I can. This is the first time I've done this particular gasket replacement. Done all kinds of stuff on dump trucks, and this here was just different. It doesn't make any sense the way they did this. It's kind of a pain. They damn sure didn't have us in mind. Oh, and there is I ended up hacking it off, but on your motor mount there's going to be I guess it's a heat shield that goes across right here, and it was a nuisance, so I deleted that. Hopefully it doesn't cause any problems, but I doubt it will. It was a flimsy piece of tin, almost like it was nothing. So we'll see. But again, to disassemble it, you're going to remove the bolts out of this first, out of the housing, and then you'll be able to wiggle it around to get this last bolt out, and then fishing it back in there. Like I went through the fender well and was able to fish that bolt in there. That's the easiest way to do it. Sitting here, unless you have a car lift, sitting here on the ground trying to do this is definitely for the birds. It's no fun. There are a couple places that you can kind of see through here, but trying to work from this side is definitely a pain. Well, I hope this helps, guys.